There was a large research study in the Journal of Gerontology. The study was about whether or not men or women in older adult life, which has greater subjective well-being. Subjective well-being measures life satisfaction, happiness, and self-esteem. Researchers wrongly predicted that older men would be much happier than older women with aging and retirement. You can see why they might have assumed that. Women lived longer, yet many of those additional years are spent with illness and disability. Also, older women are higher users of prescription medication and institutional care, and they're also much more likely to be widowed than men. Researchers also thought that women would score lower on subjective well-being because they would be more likely to openly disclose that they were not doing well or that they were having problems. And there's also the gender bias with aging men who are viewed with greater social prestige as they age and viewed as distinguished. Whereas older women are often viewed as being less attractive and therefore less valued. Men in that generation have much more money than the women. So for women to be just as happy as men in older adult life, they would have had to overcome those things that I just mentioned. And so those tendencies and predilections of older women, I call those superpowers. And it seems as if there are 6 of them. 1 has to do with social support networks. Women are much more likely to have a larger social support network. They're more likely to make new friends as friends die or move away. Women are more likely to be self-disclosing of their feelings and their situation, and that kind of openness allows for greater support. Number 2, they discovered that older women's positive self-concept shows greater resiliency than men's. They attribute this in part to identity. Many men went through life and had their identities closely woven with status, careers, achievement, and control. And those things are greatly diminished with retirement and aging. So having a self-concept rooted in something more permanent that carries through older adult life is a huge advantage. They also discovered that positive events are able to buffer and counteract the impact of negative events, much more so for women than for men. Number 4 may sound a little strange to you. Women have lower aspirations. What? That does sound peculiar, doesn't it? Like it might be a negative, but in actuality, having lower expectations or aspirations, they're much easier to meet. If you have extremely high aspirations for what your retirement and aging is going to be like, it makes it very much more difficult to meet those, which leaves a greater gap for potential unhappiness and dissatisfaction. Also, regarding aspirations, they found out that men were less able to lower their aspirations and still feel good about themselves. Number 5, they found out that women are able to get greater satisfaction and happiness from smaller things. And with aging, as your world becomes smaller and smaller compared to what it was in your 30s and 40s and such, it's valuable to be able to get great satisfaction from smaller events and things. And the last, and I think most powerful, has to do with resiliency. A lot of female resiliency comes from a very unexpected source. Learning to ride the highs and lows of estrogen every month while maintaining equilibrium and consistency gave us a really advantage because we learned how to transition, adjust, how to experience the sense of falling apart, knowing we'll come together later, learning to adapt and accommodate. Those things that were so difficult to learn in earlier adult life for women become incredible assets with aging. That's my take on the 6 superpowers of aging women. You may see it quite differently, and I welcome your comments. Thank you for watching one of the videos on my Okboomerfriend channel. Check out other videos with information and insights to assist you with aging and retirement.